Honestly, I mean, I've got the daylight shining in. It's a beautiful day outside. I've got the window open, and I know for a fact, 10 out of 10, that I am going to be terrified. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Rachel, and do you guys know what day it is today? It's Friday the 13th. Yeah. Anyway, it is Friday the 13th, and I've got a little special coming your way right now. Not sure why I'm doing this. So as you guys know, Friday the 13th is a superstitious day, which is supposed to bring bad luck. So the creepy thing about Friday the 13th is that no one really knows the true origin of it. But it's no secret that the number 13 is supposed to be unlucky, and it's been known to be unlucky for a long time. Like back to ancient times. We're talking way back in the day. One of the main ones, the one that I always see in Christianity, at the Last Supper there were 13 guests, and one of the guests was Judas, who betrayed Jesus, and 13 is considered unlucky now. Also, Friday was supposed to be the day that Cain killed his brother Abel, and it was also a day that Jesus was crucified. It was on a Friday, Good Friday. So people think it stems from that. I feel like I need to adjust this. So yeah, it's basically kind of a messy origin when you try to look it up. People could have a whole bunch of different reasons, but Christianity roots is one of the main reasons that you can find when you look it up. I definitely encourage you guys looking it up because it's kind of interesting to just dig into that. So, because I love everything related to horror, scary, spooky, spoopy, whatever, I thought it would be a good idea to sit down with you guys on this very special day and read you some spooky stories. None of them are super long or anything, so you're not going to be sitting here like, Rachel, oh my gosh, shut up. I have the stories here on my phone. I'm going to be reading them to you guys. I have quite a few here. I'm not sure exactly how many I'm going to read to you guys. It just depends on time and whatever, but I've always wanted to do one of these, so I'm pumped. And all the links to these stories are going to be listed down below. These are supposedly true stories submitted by viewers for this website. Or readers, not viewers, sorry, I'm thinking about YouTube. Supposedly, these are real. So, yay. The first one is called The Little Girl Who Wasn't. I kind of want Annie to come in here, to be honest. You can get up there. Come on. Come on. Get up there. Okay, you were so lazy. There we go. Grab your tea, grab your chips, grab your cookies, grab your food, grab your coffee. I don't know, grab something because we're about to start. I lived in a house from hell for 4 years, from age 11 to almost 16. There was constantly something happening. Doors flying open and shut, voices, footsteps. Nothing ever stayed where you put it. I was alone there a lot because both my parents worked and I was constantly terrified. One of the most gut-level disturbing things, though, was the little girl in my bathroom. Every time I walked past my bathroom door, which was constantly since it was right outside my bedroom, I saw a little girl with blonde curled hair and a rose-colored dress. She just stood there staring, looking like a photograph from 1905. I started keeping the door closed so I could walk by without seeing her, but she was always there when I opened it. Once I stepped in past her. I couldn't see her anymore, but I could feel her there. She scared me, but I felt really sorry for her because she was trapped there, just like me, but probably forever. As the years went by and things in the house continued to get worse, she started seeming darker. I started feeling like she wasn't really a little girl. I knew there was something ugly in the house, and I felt like it was presenting this sympathetic image to me. Then I started thinking I was completely losing my mind. One day, when I was 14, I had a friend from out of town come stay with me for a week. I hadn't told her anything whatsoever about the house because I didn't think she would come if I did. Right after she got there, we were sitting in my room and she left to go to the bathroom. About a minute later, she walked back in with a puzzled look on her face and said, "So, there's a little girl in your bathroom." Yeah, she hangs out in there. Blonde hair, curls, pink dress, yeah. You know that's not really a little girl, don't you? I almost threw up. I was so relieved and terrified and excited and ready to run out of the house screaming. She wouldn't use my bathroom the rest of the week, and I started using it as little as possible without making my parents mad, who didn't want to believe. I would be so mad at my friend if she told me to like come over, spend the night at my house, but like didn't tell me that the house was haunted or that there was a spirit. I would be livid. So do not, okay? Do not do that to me ever. You know who you are, all of my friends out there. And by all my friends, I mean 2 people. No, I'm just kidding. Eventually, we moved out, and I couldn't have been happier. I distanced myself from it mentally as much as I could. Then, when I was 18, I took another friend on a road trip to pack up a few things I'd left in the house. My parents hadn't managed to sell it, and wouldn't for 5 more years. The minute we got on the property, my friend seemed uncomfortable. When we came around the bend in the long, steep driveway, he went completely white. I could tell something was wrong, but he insisted he was okay, so we got to work. After a while, he asked to use the bathroom, and I directed him to mine. Not 20 seconds after he left, he came running back in, gasping for breath, and slammed the bedroom door behind him. He started babbling about a little blonde girl who isn't really a little girl. All of a sudden, he went dead still, looked me in the eye, and very solemnly said, "She's not happy with you. You left, and you weren't supposed to." We threw whatever we could grab in 2 trips in my car. After I walked into another bathroom and waited outside the door, and got the heck out at top speed. Ooh, okay, so that was the end of that one, and I definitely got chills when I was done reading that. Something about the bathroom is so creepy. I don't know what it is about the bathroom, but it's just terrifying, and ooh, okay. I'm getting chills. That one was pretty scary. I don't know what you guys thought about it, but I thought that was pretty creepy. I haven't read any of these either. Like I skimmed a few, and I was like, oh, this might be good, so I picked those to read to you guys, but I don't know what the ending of any of these are, so I'm right in there with you guys. I keep looking at myself, I'm sorry. This one's really short. It's called Photographic Memories. I grew up in New Mexico and was always very into the outdoors, hiking, camping, rock climbing, etc. One summer when I was 19, I went on a 4-day, 3-night camping trip near my parents' house on my own. Might sound weird, but I had to have been to this area many times and it was quite safe. Anyway, I brought my camera and took lots of pictures. When I came back and developed my film, there were 3 extra pictures that I didn't take of me sleeping, 1 for each night. None of my stuff was missing or stolen and nothing happened, but it scared the crap out of me. That would be terrifying. I can just imagine just sitting there like, oh, I'm gonna go through my trip and look at all these beautiful pictures I took, and then, oh hey, that's a picture of me sleeping. No thank you. Moving on. This one's called There's Something on the Stairs. So when I was a kid, I would race up to the top of the stairs as fast as I could, like it was some sort of silly game. Well, I must have been 5 or 6 at the time. I'm not sure, but I know I was very little. Somewhere along the way, a voice at the top of the stairs started to whisper to me. It would make bets with me, such as, I bet you a penny you can't make it to the top of the stairs. Oh my gosh, stop. I don't really think there was a certain amount of time or anything. As I said, I was very little, so I probably didn't have any counting abilities anyway. Ha. I recall just sitting at the top of the stairs, having conversations with this voice. About the betting, of course. Eventually the voice, it was like a whisper of a man's voice, not my own voice in my head, started to bet me my life. Instead of pennies, it'd say, I bet you your life you can't make it up the stairs. As I got older, it stopped. I never really thought about it at all. I never mentioned it to anyone. Until one night I was sleeping over at my brother's place. I was about 18, he was 22. And we were talking about spooky stories. Out of nowhere, I brought up the voice at the top of the stairs, and my brother got all quiet and weird. Before I even mentioned the betting aspect, he said, Did it make bets with you? We both looked at each other horrified. It certainly was freaky after the fact. Honestly though, I know exactly what he's talking about because, I would race up the stairs, but I would race up the stairs for different reasons. Like, we had this basement growing up that I was just terrified of, because it was just so huge, and you know, it was just pitch dark when you went down there. Like, oh my gosh. And I would race to flip the lights up and everything, and I hated going down there. And there were so many places that you could hide because it was so big, you know? So I thought, oh my gosh, what if a killer was in here? What if there's a ghost, like, lurking in the shadows? I don't know. So every time I had to go down there for my mom or something, I would shut off the lights and just race up the stairs as fast as I could. And I know a lot of people have done this, because I've talked to so many people who have done the exact same thing because they were scared something was going to grab their foot or something. I can't even imagine how I would have coped as a kid if something would have, like, talked to me and, like, bet me, like, I bet you can't get up the stairs fast enough, like, I bet I'm gonna kill you, like, I don't know. Oh my gosh, that, ugh. Gosh, did you guys run up the stairs like that? Leave a comment. I was working late on a Saturday night on the 29th floor of my office building, alone of course, though that was not uncommon. Being almost 30 stories up and near the Pacific Ocean, there was a thick fog surrounding the upper part of the building, such that you couldn't see 10 feet out from the building, but if you looked down, you could see the lights of the city below. Nearly all of the lights in the office were off because they are controlled by motion detectors, and no one had been in the office for hours. Anyway, creepy atmosphere. So I'm working in my office when I see out of the corner of my eye a distinct brown object briefly pass by on the far side of one of the assistants' ledges, diagonally out of my door. If you've worked in an office, you know what I'm talking about. The shape went into my colleague's office, and the light in her office, which also is controlled by motion detectors, went on. My colleague is short and has light brown hair, so I assumed I had caught a glimpse of her head as she was walking into her office. Bored, I immediately got up and wandered over to say hello. No one in sight. I looked at her light switch and saw that the manual override button, which turns the motion detector off, was popped out, so the lights that were shining in my face should have been off. The hairs went up on the back of my neck, and I walked back to my office and sat down. A minute or so later, I looked up and noticed that my colleague's light was now off again, and I got even more creeped out. So I sat there feeling uneasy for a few minutes and listening for sounds of activity in the office, thinking someone was around and triggering office sensors, but alas, there was no one else there. Probably to make myself feel better by breaking the uneasy silence, I stood up and walked to the door of my office and called out, "Hello?" No response, no activity, nothing. So I turned back to walk into my office, and boom, the light in my colleague's office goes back on again, and the silence is shattered by the phone in the conference room between our offices suddenly ringing. This was extremely unusual because the conference room can only be dialed from inside the firm. Okay, that's like when a stranger calls type stuff. At this point, I have an acute case of the willies, and I go back into my office and sit there while the phone rings and rings for at least 10 minutes. I tried to focus on my work so I could get the heck out of there, but that infernal phone would not stop ringing. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore, and I walked into the dark conference room, and, wouldn't you know, the lights didn't go on like they should have and always do. I'm 2 seconds from peeing my pants by the time I reach the phone and look down to see that the digital display does not show any incoming call. The phone is just ringing all by itself and has been for 10 minutes. I pick up the phone and in the manliest voice I can muster say the law firm's name. Not only is there no response, there was a dial tone as if no one was ever on the other line, which destroyed my desperate hope that some idiot in another office had dialed the wrong extension. I turned and walked back to my office as fast as I could, noticing over my shoulder that my colleague's light had turned back on again, but right when I looked at it, it turned back off. I get back to my office and resolve to get the heck out of Dodge, so I collect my stuff, walk to my door, and just as I'm about to hustle down the hallway to the elevators, I call out, "I'm leaving, see you later." Instantly, the light goes on in my colleague's office, the lights in the conference room go on, and bam, the phones in the conference room and my colleague's office start ringing. All of the hairs on my body stand on end, and I feel the blood drain from my head. I raced to the elevator, jumped on, and as the doors closed, I could still hear those phones ringing in the distance. That's creepy. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed those spooky stories. Let me know in the comments below which one you thought was the creepiest or which one was your favorite. That is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a big old thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and videos of other genres, because this isn't all I do. Turn on post notifications right there, the little bell, so that you can get notified every time I upload. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this, and stay safe out there, guys. Friday the 13th, you never know what could happen. I know for a fact that I'm going to be watching tons of horror movies tomorrow because, you know, gotta celebrate my national holiday. Just kidding. But not really. I'm totally doing that. Jeepers Creepers 3 is on Netflix right now, guys, and I am pumped. And I'm probably going to end up watching that tomorrow, to be honest. Alright, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to dream, wake up, pursue, and inspire. Bye! I don't know why it looks like my hand is orange from the sunset. Yeah. Oh, and that is Annie. Yes, it is, and now she's running away. Now, not everyone knows what... I don't even know what I was trying to say there. I look kind of emo today. Do I look emo today to you guys? I don't know. Just like with the black and the beanie and I don't know. Stop! Past her. Wait, what? Oh yeah. She was scared. Why do I keep messing these up? I look so pale. Like I look like a ghost, so this is fitting. I kind of freaked myself out. I saw myself in the mirror and got a little scared. My college let me down and let me down. Let me down. Let me down. Let me down. Don't let me down. So that you can get uploaded. Yeah, so you can get uploaded. That makes sense. My new intro. Bye bye. Do some stretching. Okay. I think we're done. I know, like your perfect crime, how you